Hi, I'm Akarana.
And I'm Rohan Nahar.
Welcome to The Long Take. This week we're discussing the new Tamil language movie Maareesan, which stars Fahadh Faasil and Vadivalu in the lead, and is now streaming on Netflix after a theatrical run last month, which is standard for movies like this, which appear in a month on streaming platforms. Anyway, it's a movie that sends you like a red herring for a long while, and then reveals itself to be like a Me Too revenge killing extrajudicial thing. Eventually, at some point, very different first half and second half. But anyway, yeah. That's what we'll discuss. What do you think of the movie?
I quite liked the movie, but then I felt quite dirty for liking it.
Because you're making you support bad people.
It's making me support not necessarily bad people, but like someone I wouldn't support in real life. I can only support this sort of thing in a movie, and that too under circumstances. But yeah, I didn't feel like so immediately it's very gratifying, obviously, like any revenge movie is.
Mm.
But then, once you let it kind of sit and simmer, is when you start feeling like, yuck, man. I, and that's not like it's entirely by accident, right? It's not like a movie like Taxi Driver or Joker, which makes you wonder why
They,
you're.
they tell you upfront, like this movie is about
Uh,
a crazy person.
yeah, and the point of those movies is to make you like think why you are connecting with those characters, right? And it's as much about you, the viewer, as it is about the protagonists. But this one, though, it's entirely accidental that it sent me into kind of a spiral, right? Because the movie is not like the movie is pretty like ha tu kar.
Yeah, like it sort of almost like excuses him at the end, like when he's walking out of the court or whatever. They're like, support villain, support villain. And I'm like, what are you advocating for, movie, at this point? Like, are you advocating for mob justice?
It is. So it's a morality kind of tale, this movie, and although the movie doesn't let him get away with it, he is kind of jailed. But then because he wanted to be jailed in the first place, it's almost like he got what he wanted. So it's not like he's being punished, he's getting what he wanted. And morally, though, it excuses him. Like morally, the movie thinks it's okay, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, which is where I find trouble. It's okay to like show a character who is doing this, like, you want to like tell a story about a person like this. But then, yeah, where it starts being like, I'm like, does the movie have a point of view on this? And it feels like movie's POV is essentially like celebrating him because one of
The movie POV is Fahadh Faasil's POV.
Fahadh and also other characters, right? Like the quote unquote doodh ka dula, like innocent mothers of the traumatized or like beat of the abused kids or the trafficked kids in some cases. And one of them literally calls him God, like in dialogue. Like it's not even like
Yeah,
beating around the bush and like alluding to it. It's like straight up, he is God. I'm like, okay.
it is, like I said, it's like accidentally complicated, this movie, right? Because if you were to put this man in like a superhero costume, you wouldn't think twice about any of it, right? It's very like minor changes to the tone of the movie. If it was more stylized, you wouldn't think, if it was Kill Bill, you wouldn't think twice about it. But because the movie kind of leans slightly like realistic direction mein, is why you're like, oh my god, this feels a little too real. Like maybe you should have made a genre movie and then I would have been like, whatever. But because it's like real world, real life crimes, a real
Presenting them as like ordinary people, like, in the first half, he's just like a bumbling old fellow. Like,
yeah, like if this was even Dexter, I would have been like, ठीक है, because Dexter at the end of the day is like a dark comedy.
yeah.
And this one tries to be that, but then the
And
second half
Dexter
is
is
not that.
actually like mentally, this guy is pretending to be mentally the entire movie.
Yeah, but that, I mean, I excuse that because that's a cover and it's a pretty good cover. If you're going to be a serial killer, then you might as well have a cover. So that all that is okay, and I even liked the way that the story is kind of structured, which is you enter it through this completely random character.
Oh, I was not a fan of that at all. I was like, after they do the reel, I'm like, wait, why was I bothering to watch this movie through this idiot, the other idiot?
It creates a nice dramatic kind of tension between them, right? And it creates this kind of opportunity for also Fahad Fasil to look at the world differently. He is like a petty criminal, right? And not to kind of carry forward like that superhero analogy, but it's basically like him becoming a sidekick, at least at the end becoming like a Robin sort of figure.
I mean, sure, but it's more of like what I got out of it was like they wanted to convey like his journey was like never knew his dad, and then he became this like father figure, like which is again like they give it to you in dialogue. They don't leave it like
So
covered up.
I thought that the movie was quite, it's a very fine line between like conniving and intelligent, but the movie was somewhere between those two kind of descriptions in how it kind of pulls you into the story. And that's why Fahad Fasil's character is important, because if you were to kind of watch this through the point of view of the killer person, it would have been, I don't know, more difficult to hide that from the audience or to kind of lie about
But in a way, like, that's what we're advocating for, right? I'm like, don't hide for it. Make it a genre movie. Show it through.
But then how do you kind of create the whatever the emotional bond that the movie wants you to create with him, if you're just watching it through a mass murderer kind of person's POV?
I don't know, like,
The only reason
there cuts like between flashback and like, the present day.
I think the only reason Fahad Fasil exists is to basically be like an audience surrogate, and to kind of spend 1 hour watching these people develop a genuine kind of friendship, which I bought. Like for that first hour, if you don't know what's coming.
Is it a genuine friendship? Because one guy keeps pretending to forget the other guy and mistake him for his son. So, but we don't know that yet. So we actually think he's forgetting. So it's just like a comedy drama, and for the most part, it's just like they bum the hair off from here and there, and this guy's trying to take advantage of him and figure out how he can get his, like, it's all about ATM pin and kaise 25 lakh lene hoye. That's all that's happening. 45 minutes.
But that changes, right? Over time. Like over time they form, like when it's time for them to kind of, when the journey is coming to an end, and before Fahad Fasil knows what's up, you can sense that they've kind of developed a connection, right?
I think there is a connection through these like random late night parties, which again is like part of the cover up for that guy. So in a way, he's not trying to bond with them. He's just trying to get them to like go to sleep so he can escape at night.
Correct. But I know that both of them have their agendas. But despite their agendas, I felt that they kind of formed a connection, which is why he feels so betrayed by this man at the end, right? Fahad Fasil.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I almost like felt pity for this poor man, but he was like, "Mujhe buddhu bana tha." But at that point, he thinks he's like a pedophile.
Correct. So he feels betrayed that I got scammed by him, and just a few.
When I was trying to scam him, like, oh my god.
Yeah. So uske pehle, no, but that's not because of the scam and all, right? It's because I was genuinely becoming your friend, and you turned out to be someone that
Yeah,
you
but
were
like,
not.
sure, like,
Whereas,
we were to become a friend at some level, but like, eventually, like, it's ironic for this character to be like, how could he do this to me when you are doing almost the same thing to him?
no, he wasn't doing almost the same thing. He was just trying to steal his money.
You're using him for his money, he's using you as an alibi.
Correct, but it's not the same thing, right? He was almost not interested in the money at all after a point. It was, and that guy was still being
so late after
and
that. I don't know. I don't buy that kid. Like, he was not interested in the money for like a long stretch. All he cares about is ATM in low, rip him off, and walk away.
And there is that one scene on the bike where after they visit his mother and all, where he leaves like a bunch of money for her. And when he tells him that I don't want to be a thief anymore, I want to quit that life. So he's like, you needed you needed like a leg up, so here it is. Here's some money. So put you on the right path. So there is like a sweet kind of moment between them. And then you sense that both of these people are kind of changing, but then the betrayal happens, and Fahad Fasil is like, I was not going to rip you off, and you turned out to be like a pedo, and that is unforgivable. Now I have to, teach you a lesson. So that journey I buy fully.
Okay.
The only issue I have is with the movie at the end being like, great, we need more people like this guy out there.
I also have a problem with like the number of like reveals they need to do, as if like they need to like answer every question from the beginning that people might be like, no, but what about that? No, but what about that? And then they try to answer all of those in the end. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Stop. Like, I don't need so many like reveals and reveals and reveals.
I didn't mind, no, I don't know which reviews that you're talking about, but I didn't mind the flashback to when they first met, when he had committed his first murder.
Yeah, Myron, there I had so many already answers. I was like, I don't need this. It's fine. I don't want to know why he was chained up. I do not care. Just end the movie. But like, stop diffusing your court scene and by like hearkening back to like a previous moment. Like, इस moment में ये हुआ था. Oh my God, Ganesh is ruined. Oh my God, this is why they met. Oh my God, this is what happened then.
I didn't mind the meeting because the movie opens with an interesting kind of voiceover. I don't know, because the voiceover never happens again. Where he says that how does a bird eat a fish or something.
Yeah, there's like a scene with like a snake and a rat, right? And then,
He's basically saying that how can, like, in what world can a bird that flies in the sky eat a fish that swims underwater. Like, how do those two worlds collide?
Speaking of chance, like the amazing coincidence that random thief turns up on that house that he was trying to like rob, and then there you are killing someone. Sure, that's one chance thing, and then later turns out to be us random thief ka friend is also one of the guys you're trying to kill.
Yeah. That was a little convenient. Although I didn't mind the earlier thing because the movie sets it up as like a blind chance, two worlds colliding.
Yeah, sure. The first one, sure, like you said, a one chance thing.
The second one felt a little.
But then to say ki uska dost bhi is one of the guys you have to kill. I'm like, what is this? How?
Yeah,
What is
that was a little
What
convenient.
do you think of the, I don't know, action choreography or the cinematography in general? Like there was action choreography, I think, only in the end stuff with the face of whatever.
No, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was like a regular movie. I thought some of it was interesting. The scene in which he kills the guy by tying him to like a pole or something.
Yeah, that was the early into the second hour, and the movie was like, I was still reeling from the shock of like how quickly the movie had changed itself. It was like 1 second. Wasn't I watching like a very different movie like for 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. It's a Tamil movie, but it plays like a Malayalam movie where it's like let's chill for like an hour and then we'll start really then.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, I didn't watch it at the theater, but I could imagine like, you come back after getting popcorn, like, were we in the same screen, guys?
But that's entirely by design. Unlike the
Yeah, expect desire, but like it is a jarring show. It's not gradual at all.
yeah, it's not. The minute the cops come here, like ek second ye kya ho raha hai ab? And so I mean I didn't mind I thought it was okay. Like it didn't feel like some of those Bollywood movies where they switch on all the lights, the hotels felt real. It felt, all those places that they were staying at overnight. Those felt like real hotels that you might find on the highway.
Yeah, like they were like as garish as real hotels. Like, oh my god, this is how they are. You're in your face. There's green and there's red on it. This nothing makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean the highway stuff was I appreciate that, at least it's real rural India, you know. In terms of I thought that Fahad Faasil was very funny in the first half of the movie where he was required to do like this almost caricaturish like broad physical comedy, like every muscle in his body is kind of acting, which is very nice to see. Because a lot of people think that comedy is just, face words, but it's like entire body he puts into it, which is nice. Like he did this that Avesham also, which I didn't like much, but it's much better.
And or even about the general like runtime of the movie. I feel like it could be like easily chopped into like a lot.
Agreed, but then that would alter the very DNA of the movie, which requires that 1 hour of sedation almost.
I'm not buying that it requires 1 hour. I am still on the fence. Like after not fence, I'm on the other side that you can literally chop off like Fahad Faasil's character and start off with like showing
No, but that would be like rewriting the movie.
the other guy's wife. Yeah. Just like do that. Cut out the entire thing, make it 90 minutes.
There is a version of this that could be 90 minutes. You could have like the first, whatever, hour and 15. And then basically post interval, you could have like 10 minutes. Condense that into 10 minutes as like Shyamalan type twist,
That is the issue, right? I think that's why I mentioned the runtime is because I am at pains to understand why everyone like writes extra. Like, do you get paid per page in India or something?
No, the culture is basically get your money's worth. Now, if you go to a theater,
Why do audiences feel they need to like get like willing to sit longer to like for a good movie?
I suppose it's a cultural thing, right? Because like it's a luxury, right? At the end of the day, and when people go out, like in India, movie watching is a luxury and always has been. So when people go out, they want like a heavy meal. They don't want to eat salads.
They don't have to like, oh my god, अभी तो चालू हुआ था, अभी खत्म हो गया.
हाँ, तो इसीलिए यहाँ पर the concept of like a chef's menu, like a tasting menu, doesn't take off in India because you leave the restaurant not full. And the concept of leaving a restaurant not full and then having to go to McDonald's is insane. Even to me, I'm like, पेट तो भरो यार मेरा.
People don't go to. He's saying they don't go for the enjoyment of the
meal.
Yeah, they go for filling.
पेट भरना चाहिए.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fit भी ना
that applies to our movies for some reason.
Yeah, so that is why a lot of our movies you will not have like a straight up horror movie. You will have a horror movie with romance, with action, etc.,
With
etc.
comedy, with like something else.
Because people have historically felt shortchanged, and the same people who have grown up on these ideas are the ones making movies.
This is why we cannot get a genre version of this movie.
Correct. Which is why we will never get a genre version of this movie, right? Because abhi tak hamara disparity itna hai in culture that if you're going to pay like $300-400 on a ticket and then on whatever food, samosa, popcorn, it's unaffordable for the majority of our country. So it's always going to be this way. Unless you start selling tickets for like $50, you're not going to get genre movies. Simple.
Or we like go so far back into the era of filmmaking that we go to like, you know how they used to have one movie after the other, like a
Double
deep
bill,
dive,
हाँ.
double bill, कि like पहले ये देखो, then ये देखो. Then you have
Yeah.
290 movies for one ticket.
So many of our movies are anyway like two different movies.
That so they literally just split them down the middle. Like ये अलग हुई, ये अलग हुई. But पैसे, अकल complain मत करो. About 50 minutes you got.
Now we've come back to square one where Maareesan is basically, it stops, then it starts again. Yeah.
But he said you like you have 2-3 act structure, right? It feels like you're watching TV in the cinema.
Yeah. For the longest time, these people were so angry that we had to write like 2 climaxes. Like, who does that?
Any other thoughts, Tandur?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all for this episode of The Long Take. You can follow us on Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram at The Long Take Pod. You can write to us at thelongtakepod@gmail.com. Please leave us a rating and a review wherever episode, and we will see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.